Hello, DJ Vinyl Vertigo here. Scott saying, how you doing? I'm just trying to take my mind off the situation. I'm in Florida, in the Tampa Bay area, and we're bracing for a major hurricane coming through the area, or at least along the area. I think it's going a little northwest of where I live, but we're still going to get the tailwinds of it, so it looks like it's going to be Category 3. That's not good. Um, and we expected it to be a 1, and then now it's saying 3 because it's over warm water in the Gulf. So I'm just trying to take my mind off of Idalia. That's the name of the hurricane that's forming and should be going landfall tomorrow morning, early in the morning, into Wednesday. So Tuesday evening into Wednesday morning, I should say. So I have pretty much everything prepared that I can. I'm just hoping that we don't have a power outage. We usually do get power outages when the winds are that strong, and it takes a while to get the power back, and it's not good, especially when it gets so hot. It is Florida, for God's sakes. So in the meantime, I just want to show, I guess, to distract myself, I'm going to show some records that I've been compiling. I haven't shown any records that I've actually picked up over the past few weeks, maybe a month or so. And just want to say thank you to everybody who has subbed to DJ Vanna Vertigo channel. I went from a mere 82 subs with my video for my 10 most listened to records that I can think of, and they got a lot of response, huge response, close to 3,000, I think, views, and about somebody's horn is beeping outside. It's not the storm. Anyway, and I gathered about 130, 140 subs. And if you haven't subbed yet, it'd be really great if you would sub. Let me just pause this for a second. I don't know what that's about. Somebody's honking their horn. I don't know what's going on. I thought it was an alarm, but I think somebody's just going crazy out there. Anyway, I'm going to show some records. I'm not going to really talk about, because there's a lot of them, and I've already taken up 3 minutes with my intro. Just want to give some shout outs to John of Talking Music with John. I know he went to the records sale that was out in Orlando with one of our other, I can't think of his name right now, one of our other VC personalities from Canada, and they went and they got records out there, hoping to see what they got. I don't know what they got. I wanted to go, but I couldn't, and I had to work, and also there was a concert that I was obligated to go to on Sunday to see these guys play Art Blakey music. It was Paul Gavin, the drummer Paul Gavin, with James Suggs on trumpet. Really good players, really good players. The band was called Mosaic. It was Paul Gavin, Mosaic, doing the music of Art Blakey. Saturday night, I went to see Daniela Soledade. She's a Brazilian singer who goes back to the traditional 60s kind of modern Brazilian jazz stuff that was happening at that time. Think Stan Getz and that kind of stuff, Jobim, that kind of stuff, Black Orpheus. And she's from a long line of Soledade Her grandfather wrote some of the classic tunes from the '60s period, and she's carrying on the tradition. It was a really good show. Anyway, let's continue, and I'll just show you some music. Not play music, but show you some music, some records that I have found. This one I found really cheap. This is Bonnie Bramlett. I always like to pick up Bonnie Bramlett stuff. And this one is called Lady's Choice. It is produced by Johnny Sandlin for Capricorn Records. And let's see. Yeah, cool stuff. I'm sure it's really cool. Anything on here that I don't think I really, she does Let's Go Get Stoned, which is a Ashford and Simpson tune that was done by Joe Cocker and other people as well. Hold On, I'm Coming, that's a classic. You Send Me, so she's got stuff in here that's, Ain't That Loving You, Baby, You Really Got a Hold on Me, so she really gets soulful on this. If I Were Your Woman. So yeah, Bobby Bramlett. You might have seen her on the Roseanne show, the original Roseanne show. She's the neighbor that sang, the rough neighbor that sang. Anyway, I think neighbor or co-worker or something like that. I don't know, but I didn't really pay that much close attention. But she's from Delaney and Bonnie, yeah, and she's part of that whole controversy with Elvis Costello when he first came to the United States and all that stuff. And crazy story. I bought this by mistake, but how can you buy this by mistake? It's a great band, great music, great period, but I already had it. So I'm going to look at my copy and compare and see which one's better. Copy and keep the better copy is Heaven 17. Got this really cheap, in good condition. Nice inner sleeve inside. Oh no, this didn't have the nice inner sleeve. It's just a plain inner sleeve. But to fix that if I want to keep it. But Heaven 17, this has got all the great songs on it. Who Will Stop the Rain, Penthouse and Pavement, Play to Win, Let Me Go, We Don't Need This Fascist Groove Thing, The Height of the Fighting, I'm Your Money. I mean, it's just, everything on here is just really cool. Heaven 17 kills it. They're, kind of in that vein of Human League and all that kind of stuff. They're really living in a box, that whole period. Brand new, I got this in the mail. I don't know if I showed this already. I don't think I did. This is Hozier. I haven't even listened to it yet. It's his latest release called Unreal on Earth. Very weird cover. It's a gatefold. Yeah, double CD, double record. I got this kind of less expensive than it normally would be because the cover is damaged. It got bent in this corner really badly, but I care about the music more than anything. And I'm not like a dealer and I'm not a flipper, so if I sell my stuff it's because I don't need it anymore, I don't like it, or I don't need it, or for whatever reason. But it's not like about making money for me. It's just about just getting some of my money back kind of thing. So I don't care about that. I mean, I normally would care about that. I'm not saying that I would go and find all the toe-up records, but, if I can get a deal and the record's in good condition, I'll take it. And it was sealed, and it looks really good. So the single on this is called Eat Your Young. So we'll see. And it's a light umber vinyl. We'll show, and if you want to see that another time, I might show you the inner on this. Now I went to Kingfish Records the other day, and because I watched John from John Talking Music with John channel, and he does a weekly, I think on every Thursday, he does a weekly video from Kingfish Records up in Clearwater, showing what their new releases are and also all their new stuff that they got in, used and new. And there was a series of compilations that he showed, and I was intrigued, so I went and checked it out because he didn't say who was on them, but the covers were really cool. And there were covers that were cooler than this, but when I look at the artists, look at the inner. It's a nice illustration. Really nice. And this one's called Transmission. It's a Vinyl Mood. Vinyl Mood is the label, and it's a compilation of lots of different artists. And I listened to this at the store. Listened to some of it. It's like kind of downbeat, really like lounge dub. It's interesting stuff. So I'm gonna give this a really good listen, and I'll get back to you on this. But it just sounds like something that I'd like to listen to, with a nice cup of coffee and sitting in a lounge chair and just like chilling after a long hard day. Very interesting music, kind of on the idea of Moby, a mixture of that kind of stuff. Anyway, and at Kingfish I also picked up a couple of I love Chicago, and I watched the Chicago documentary about a month or so ago, and it reignited some of my energy for early Chicago. I love early Chicago, pre-Cetera, and even some Cetera, but really pre-Cetera. I liked this record when I first had it. This was I think this was number 8. I think this was number 8, Chicago 8. And this has, the song that I like on this is a part 1, part 2 of Brand New Love Affair. I think that's what it's called. Brand New Love Affair. This had on here, Old Days was a big hit on this, and Harry Truman. Those were big hits. Oh, Peter Cetera was on this record. So, and Terry Kath was still here. Terry Kath was still killing it. Brand New Love Affair is what he sang. And he tore it up, and so I still like Chicago with Terry Kath there, even if Peter was there. I don't hate on Peter Cetera. I don't like the later stuff as much. A lot of the stuff he did later on. His stuff to me is very dated. That's just me. Anyway, but I still love Chicago. This is their first record, Chicago Transit Authority. I think you've all seen this before on Norman Maslov's channel, so I don't need to really go into this detail with this. But I've never had this. I've only had the greatest hits. So now I have the full album that has some of the early songs that I really love on this. So yeah, really happy to have that one. Got those really, really cheap, and really happy to get those. Next, I've never seen this before. It's called Giants. This is a jazz record with Dizzy Gillespie, Bobby Hackett, and Mary Lou Williams. And it's unfortunately has somebody writing on here, Merry Christmas, Bobby Hackett, whoever that is. Oh, Merry Christmas, Bobby Hackett. Duh. This is signed by Bobby Hackett. Oh my gosh. I'm assuming that it was signed to somebody for Christmas. It's Giants. That's cool. I think that's now. Wow, I'm cool. I'm Bobby Hackett on trumpet, and Mary Lou Williams, of course, on piano. Grady Tate on drums. George DeVivier on bass. Dizzy Gillespie, of course, on trumpet. And this was, let's see, supervision by Boo Frazier and Jack Honey. Yeah. Happy to get this. I got this really cheap. The cover's not really in the best of shape. I think it doesn't have any water damage, but it's definitely it's been around. Well, it does have some kind of moisture rippling going on there, but the record's in really great shape, and has Love for Sale, Autumn Leaves, Caravan, Jitterbug Walks, Willow Weep for Me, My Man. So these are all covers. Burke Works. I don't know if that's an original or what, but I'm sure this is nice. Disney's on here, and it's signed. It just occurred to me that this was signed. Duh. Anyway, I'm still thinking about that storm, but I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be happy. Speaking of Art Blakey, I got a couple of Art Blakey records. This is the Jazz Messengers with Art Blakey, Donald Byrd, Hank Mobley, Horace Silver, and Doug Watkins. This is called Blakey, and this is on the Columbia. Let's see. Jazz Odyssey series from Columbia. I don't know if you know this one. It says Infrared on it. Nika's Dream, it's You Are No One. Icaro, Carol's Interlude. The End of a Love Affair, I know that one. Hank's Symphony. So, I've never seen this before. So, it's kind of cool. Looks like sand and some dried up plants. It's like on the beach. And then I got this double. And I'm sure this is some sort of this has to be some kind of compilation. I'm not sure. Or maybe it's not. I'm not sure. But this is Art Blakey and John Handy. Messages is an Echo of an Era series. Double LP. Gatefold. It's got Woody and You, Sakina, Shorty, Down on the Harvest from Bird, Blues for NF, East of the Sun, West of the Moon. I know that. No Smiles, Please, Struggling, and Afternoon Outing. It's got to be good. I heard some of this in the store. I got this at Bananas in St. Pete, and I know this is going to be good because I listened to like one or two tracks, and I was like, yes. I just put that aside. So yeah, that's a definite yes. The other Blakey is good too. I listened to a couple of tracks on that as well. Then I went to, where did I get these? I got these also at Bananas. Those were at the Warehouse. This is at the main store. The Warehouse, they have a few blocks away from the main store for Bananas, and the Warehouse is chock full of records. I think Dylan went to that. He did a video when he came from North Carolina to Florida, and he checked out records for his store at Bananas, and I think it was last year, and he went to the Warehouse and he was blown away by how much records were, how much stock they had. Anyway, this is a Charles Mingus, and this is 3 or 4 Shades of Blues, and it has a roster here: Philip Catherine, George Coleman, Larry Coryell, Sonny Fortune, Jimmy Rowles, John Schofield and the Mingus Band, Ricky Ford, Bob Nellums, Diane Richmond, and Jack Walrath, excuse me. And it has Better Get Your Soul. There's only a few tracks on here: Goodbye Pork Pie Hat, Nod in Your Head Blues, and then the second side has 3 or 4 Shades of Blues, and Nobody Knows. Nobody knows. I don't know. Anyway. And I just watched the Mingus documentary on YouTube, and really, he was a very interesting character. I saw Charles Mingus and Sun Ra together, not, in a double bill, for free back in 1978. This was right before he passed, before Mingus passed, I guess. It had to be 78 because when I graduated from high school that summer, I saw them at this outdoor venue. I believe it was in Brooklyn, and I got to get the particulars. I don't exactly remember when, because back then I was doing some puffing and stuff, so I don't remember. I remember being there, and I remember enjoying the music, but I do remember I was having fun with my friend John, who's always a bad influence on me, and he told me about it. He goes, "We got to go, man. We got to go there. We got to go. Check them out. Check them out. Check them out." And so we went to see Sun Ra and Mingus, and it was life changing. Because it was the first time that I really went to see a jazz show without my dad, and it was just something that I wanted to check out, and I did check out. And it was probably something my father probably would not have appreciated as much, because my father wasn't into spiritual stuff. He wasn't into he wasn't into the out there jazz. He was into bebop, hard bop, that kind of stuff. And then he got into smooth a little bit, but he thought smooth was a little too twee for him as well. So he stuck to bebop and hard bop. That was my dad's favorite. So the out there jazz, when Ornette started going crazy, my father was like, no. When Coltrane started going crazy in my father's vernacular, it's like I'm not down with that. He was like, that's like out there too much. He could deal with Miles a bit, He goes, he's getting a little crazy, but I can handle it. And my father got into some fusion a little bit, but my father was pretty traditional, not big band, but he liked. My father was right down there he went to all the nightclubs when Charlie Parker was there and all. He was there and he saw all that. So that was his that's his meat and potatoes. That was his favorite stuff to listen to and to check out. Anyway, let's continue. A little memory of my dad. Here is Cedar Walton, and this has got to be a comp. It's called Cedar Walton Plays Cedar Walton from the Prestige Collection on OJC Collectors. Okay, this is really cheap, and it's a promo copy. It's got shorts. It's got Kenny Dorham on here on trumpet, Leroy Vinegar on bass, Billy Higgins on drums. Also, Richard Davis does bass on some of the tracks. Clifford Jordan plays tenor sax on some of the tracks. Bob Cranshaw, plays bass on one or two tracks, and Mickey Roker plays drums on a couple of tracks. Jack DeJohnette plays on one track, I believe. Three tracks. He plays drums on 3 tracks. So it's kind of a nice group. And this is from 1988. So I think this is a comp, so that's why you have so many different players playing different things, playing, instruments in different tracks. This is on Fantasy? No, this is on Original Jazz Classics Collections. And it's a prestige. Subsidiary. So, compilation most likely. I would think so. Got to do some more research on that. I got lots to listen to. I've been so busy, I haven't been able to listen to any of these really. Mongo Santa Maria. I haven't gotten one of his in a while. I love this cover. Let me take this out. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. It's got some ringware on it, but the photograph is just killer. And this is called Dock of the Bay. Of course, he does Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. El Bikini, Bossa Negra, Melons, Ricky Tick, Walk On By, Cuidado, Mango Nova, and Louie Louie. Yeah, and this is, I don't know what year this is. I don't know what year it is. I have to do some research on that. I can Wikipedia it later. Check it out. Or just look it up on Discogs and see what the year is on this. But, yeah, nice cover. And, once I listen to it, maybe I'll take all my Mongos out and do a Mongo shout out for everything, for all of my Mongo stuff. Here's another one that I love, Cal Jader. I've never seen this before. This is a double LP. I haven't really looked at too much of this. This is on Verve. It's called Doxy. It's a DJ. It's a promo copy for DJs, probably for the radio. There we go. Very interesting. It's 1973. It's almost like Playboy magazine to me. It kind of reminds me of the IO Players in a way. A little more censored than the IO Players. Some of these early records don't really give you, who's on what, who's doing this, da-da-da. But it's got a lot of, of course, Latin stuff on it. Doxy, My Reverie, Mana de Carnaval, That's All, Soul, motion, curacao morning, hip vibration, daddy Wong legs. Soul bird. I think I've heard that before. Soul burst. And it goes on and on and on. It's produced by, for reissue, by Eric Miller. Originally produced by Edmund Edwards. And arranged by Bobby Bryant. So there you go. Remastered by Edwin Outwater. I'm reading all this. Why? I don't know. So this is a reissue, but it's a promo copy. So it's not a first press, obviously. That's why it's so inexpensive. Again, it's about the music. I don't care. You can turn your nose up at me all you want. I don't care. This is the one that I took a chance. Oh, that's another record. I'm not going to be able to show it to you because it's in the other room, but I got another Makaya McCraven record, which I'll show in another video. I love Makaya McCraven from the UK, drummer extraordinaire. He's great. I have all this stuff. Well, I had all this stuff, and now I got another one that I didn't know existed. This artist I've never heard of before, but I took a chance on it and actually listened to some of this, and it's kind of like down-tempo pop. It's kind of like Moses Sumney or trying to think. Genius. What is that? The Genius Kid. Oh, I forget the name. Anyway, artist is called Kindness from the UK. Perfume Jesus. Very Perfume Jesus sounding. And it has people on here like Jasmine Sullivan, the soul singer Jasmine Sullivan, has the Swedish soul singer Robin on here. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Nadia Nair's on here, so he's got all these different women singing with him. And the record is called Something Like War. Something Like a War. And yeah, I just took a chance on it. It was sealed. It's a sealed record. And I liked the cover. I thought the cover was interesting. And it was really inexpensive. I don't think it was more than like $14 or $15. And I said, you know what? Sometimes I take a chance on people just because the cover looks interesting. So, and I was happy with that. The last thing I'm going to show you is another record that I knew I had this already, but I wanted to buy this. And it's Armed Forces Elvis Costello, one of my favorites. And I just did a whole thing on Elvis Costello last week because it was his birthday. But the reason why I got this was because it had, which I didn't have in my copy, the accompanying 7-inch. Yeah. Hollywood High. It's live tracks. So I'm very happy to have this. Finally, I can put this with my copy because this copy is not that great. But you know what? The seller, I bought other things from this particular seller, and he just threw this in because it was so cheap. Because the record was all banged up, but it had, like I said, it had the 7-inch. So I couldn't pass that up for free and got the 7-inch. And like, he goes, you buy from me all the time. Here, take this. So that was cool. That's very cool. And that's it for now. I'm just, I'm hoping that people can treat each other better in the real world as well as in the VC. I've been watching. I watch Rachel's Ghost live streams every day, and I know that there's a lot of roughness that goes on there, and it's all in good fun. And I don't mind that. And even when people get real political, people just like go crazy, and Rachel will scream at you and stuff, and it's all in fun. And I get it. I get that. But sometimes people have recently been really ripping into each other, and trying to hurt each other. And it's like there's no reason for that, you know. And gossip, all this gossip, you know. I'm not even going to name names. You guys know already, but I think it's, you know, there's a point where it becomes toxic, and you know, it's all good when it's fun and games when we're, you know, doing the dozens on each other and just kind of knocking each other, and it's just for fun. But when it becomes really, when you start to really, you know, go there, you know what I mean? And when you really go there and you go for the jugular, and you try to hurt someone's image or someone's name, and you gossip about someone, or you just antagonize somebody to the point where they have to leave the show, leave the channel. I think that's just so messed up, and I think it's unnecessary, and I think that the toxic stuff needs to stop, because I think Rachel's Ghosts live streams are fun and they're interesting, and they are they create a sense of belonging in a way. But when people feel hurt like that and they feel like they can't be there, again, I don't want to name names, but because that just creates more drama, and I don't want to be part of that drama. But I think the drama needs to go. You know, the fun drama is fun, but the mean drama, that's not fun, and I think that needs to stop. So anyway, wish me luck with this hurricane that's coming our way, and I'll see you on the other side. Hopefully, we'll have power, and I can still, you know, we can still hang for a while. But otherwise, you might not hear from me for a few days until we get the power back. So I, you know, don't have to limit my phone usage because I won't have power. Anyway, take care, guys. Love you guys, and keep listening to great music. Bye.